When the church selects us for leadership in the local church, in the district, in the conference, in the different structures, federations, committees, there's usually a level of excitement as people pledge their support and promise to work with you for the duration of your term. And then we have occasion to discover that in the course of doing our work, that people notice more the things we don't do well. Even when they notice the things we do well, they speak more of the things we don't do well. And the criticisms and the negative words and statements that are used to us and about us have an impact. They hit differently. As a result, it is not always fair when we criticize somebody who resigns in May, who was elected in November in the local church. Because the different things they've done since November have been met with more criticism than encouragement. We know in our local churches, in our local districts, and in the conference, that many a times leadership is a thankless job. We give you the responsibility, and we treat you in ways we would not want to be treated if we were in your shoes. But sometimes, in the name of holding people accountable, we can be harsh, we can be cruel, we can be ruthless with one another. And so at the end of your term, you've done your work, but we usually finish our terms with a lot of scars, sometimes with open wounds. And there is an expectation that you will smile. There's an expectation that you will be gracious. And yet it has taken its toll on you. And the people who love us, our family members, our friends, our relatives, those who are close to us, the negative things that are said about us in spite of our hard work hit them harder than they hit us. And it takes longer for them to recover than it does us. And they can be hurt decades after we have forgiven, because they saw what we did in an attempt to serve the local church, the district, and the conference. And they're able to see it as lack of fairness. And those of us in those positions of leadership sometimes brush it off, or appear to brush it off by saying, this is the Lord's will, I'm serving the Lord, and yet the pain is there and it's real. We sometimes say people knew their term would come to an end. Yes, we do. But I want to say two things. We don't always mind the ending of the term. What we mind are the things that people say about the ending of our term. It's not that we are not aware that the term would come to an end. But the things that are said about us, either to justify the fact that when the term ends you will not be elected, or to try and organize support for the idea that when your term ends, that's the end. The things that people say, sometimes they fabricate stories that shock you about you. And sometimes you wonder, what did I do next? Because this story is that new. You yourself are interested. When you see people hurt after elections, it's not always because they wanted to stay in office forever. It's because of the things we said about them and to them about the end of their term. We can be brutal with one another, unnecessarily so. And so this is also a moment of acknowledging that the end of your term came with things that were said. things that were said about you. Some were true, but the way they were said was just unkind. Some were exaggerated. Some were downright untrue. But our system does not provide us with a mountain to stand on top of and explain yourself. The rumors do their rounds, and you hope that people will say, no, I don't think that's true. So part of what we are doing here today is to say we know that being in leadership includes people saying things about you, things that will be hurtful to you, things that you wish your family would not hear because you know the impact those things will have on them. Thank you for your service. And we apologize where we have erred. And we pray that the Lord will heal you and your families. And we also want to say to the conference, they have served us to the best of their ability. Their best may not have been what you wanted, but they served. And we thank them for agreeing to serve. Because some of them would not be worse off if they had not been elected. They are worse off now because of what happened. And we hope that the Lord will heal them for it. And we ask that with the new team, be gracious with the people that you elect to lead you. Be kinder, so that when their term comes to an end, they have less scars and less wounds. There is a reason why many PKs, pastors' kids, don't want to work for the church. They have observed how we've handled their parents. And sometimes we've done so without acknowledging our wrongdoing. And today, please accept our gratitude and our apology. May God richly bless you.